Once again, with every video essay, the main purpose of this video is to start a conversation. If you haven't watched this film, I definitely recommend you do and come back to this video later. Your spoiler warning has been given. Hello. Today, we will be going over The Pursuit of Happyness. The story breaks down fatherhood, financial stability, the risk of investment, work ethic, and faith. However, what I think this movie is trying to demonstrate and get through is the American dream. Here in the Americas, anyone can start a business and become successful. People come from all over the world just to be here and make a better life for themselves. Everyone has their own vision of the American dream because people want to have a good job. People want to have a job where they could get out of bed and be happy about it, Anyone, regardless of their class or geographical location, can become successful through hard work, risk-taking, and time management. The movie opens up with B-roll of the city of San Francisco. Here, our main subjects are indeed people, showing the true melting pot of the American dream. This opening sequence definitely takes you in. You can feel the environment of the city. You can feel the rush of people getting ready to head out to work and start off their day. Throughout this movie, there are many scenes in the inner city where the whole frame is filled with people who have their own boat to float, people with different backgrounds, careers, and goals. This film opens up as one of the most powerful opening narrating lines in cinema.
I met my father for the first time when I was 28 years old, and I made up my mind as a young kid that when I had children, my children were going to know who their father was.
In the 1980s, 80% of Black families were of two-parent households. That number has then decreased. In modern-day America, single-parent households have haunted Black families for generations now. Correlation does not equal causation. A child with no father is 5 times more likely to live in poverty, 9 times more likely to drop out, and 20 times more likely to end up in prison. Chris is trying to be the better man. He doesn't want his child to be lost with no father the same way he was. You then learn that Chris has been trying to sell bone density scanners. This is where all his lifelong savings were invested. Chris has taken the risk. He has taken a risk that can potentially open doors to the American dream. However, this investment hasn't paid off so well.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to discuss it with you. I appreciate it.
We just don't need it, Chris. It's unnecessary. And expensive.
Well, maybe next...
Thank you.
Then the question that changes his life around. The question that introduces Chris to a new world. A world that can help him out of his struggles and change his life around for good.
Man, I got 2 questions for you. What do you do and how do you do it?
I'm a stockbroker.
Stockbroker? Oh. Had to go to college to be a stockbroker, huh?
You don't have to. I have to be good with numbers and good with people. That's it.
Chris is willing to go the extra mile and make a good first impression by handing his application personally to Mr. T. He wants to stand out more than anyone in the program and is willing to take a few more steps to do so. His second altercation with Mr. T comes out when he tries again to get his attention and show his determination. He even goes as far as lying to him in order to share a cab and have time to conversate. Chris, though, brings it his all after being released from the police station. He is indeed the oddest man in the building, and he is not dressed formally and is covered in paint. On his way to the interview, you grasp all the energy from the stockbrokers, a small peek of what may be his future job. In the interview, his charisma drives him because he knows how to talk to people. Interviews can be scary, and given the circumstances he was in, he still gave it his all. However, this program does not have a salary. 1 out of 20 will get hired. They are chosen at the end of 6 months. So now he has this spot on the program, but with bills to pay, bills that are behind. In fact, he is hesitant to stay in. Linda, Chris's lover, then leaves for New York. It seems like the whole world is against his odds. His long 6 months journey has then started. Chris is willing to put anything behind for this internship. Bringing in the most money at the end of 6 months will most likely get you hired, as tests that are taken don't mean much in the hiring process. He claimed he is good at math, and we've seen throughout his movie that he knows how to talk to people. He seems very genuine. He gets around loopholes by changing his workflow and using his time wisely. Managing his time wisely gets his job done quicker while still putting in 100%. No water, no bathroom. These are the sacrifices he is willing to take in order to come out on top. Chris misses an appointment he has scheduled, but this is the part that makes him shine. He makes a scenario about being around the neighborhood and does his best here to make both his past of himself and Mr. R collide, making relationships genuine yet again to pull off a small yet big advantage. Later in the film, he loses his place and resolves to stay at a church. You see him now juggling time with the internship, picking up his son from daycare, and making it in time to get a spot in line to stay in. At the end of the film, you see Chris juggle all these things for a while. He works hard, works smart to change his life. Once he is officially hired for the job, the audience feels happy. They feel relief, they feel emotional. We know his struggle, the obstacles he had to overcome. We know how much he needs his job. Every time I watch this film, I have like tears of joy, and it makes me think about what am I gonna do to change my life for the better? What am I going to do with my life? How will I do it, and how bad do I want it? He then goes out into the city, just how the movie started, right back into the melting pots. Now throughout this film, we see Christopher holding a Captain America like everywhere they go. Now during this scene, he drops it as he tries to keep up with his father to get to the bus stop. You can hear the pain as he yells, and you can see the pain in his teary eyes. What does Captain America represent? Yes, America. Now I might be like reaching out way too much, but I feel like this could represent how easy it is to lose the American dream. Again, maybe I'm just reaching out too much, but that's just something I wanted to point out. The only person who is stopping you from being successful is yourself. You shouldn't rely on others for your own happiness. Want something, then work for it. It won't be easy, but I guarantee you, if you give it your all, if you have good time management, if you take the risk, and if you put in the work and you work hard and you work smarter, you will get there. Everyone has their own definition for success, and that's okay, because success for some people might be totally different from like the person next to them, you know? But like, you do you, like, do it for yourself, and don't let anyone take away your right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.